And we are live. We're on air. Hey, everybody. Oh, I see we have somebody else that's joining us, or at least attempting to. There's Tamara. Hey, Tamara, how are you?
I'm sorry. I was up half the night helping my husband with papers. I went down for a nap, and I thought I hit the snooze, and I ended up turning the alarm off.
Yeah, I think I've done that a time or two myself. Not a problem. Happy you're here now. That's what counts. Tamara, I was just mentioning to everybody, and we're live now also. I mentioned, I know that you posted in the chat group that you won't be available next Saturday, and I won't be available the Saturday after, and I don't want us to miss 2 weeks in a row, so, and I don't need an answer right away. You can let me know during the week, but we're looking at possibly moving next week's to Sunday. So if Sunday works for you, and it does for some of us so far already, let us know, and maybe we'll move if it works out, maybe we'll just move the Hangout next week from Saturday to Sunday, and then take the following week off.
That's fine. That works for me.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, just to make sure that we have, keep track of it, I'm just going to ask you, whenever you guys do know if that's going to work, just post it in our regular chat group. So this way we'll have a record of who can make it next Sunday and who can't, and then we'll definitely make a decision. So anyway, the first thing I want to do before we jump into what everybody did for the week, I just want to mention, first of all, Chloe is not here, but I wanted to give her an official congratulations from all of us on becoming an ambassador. So we'll have to sort of hold off for a few minutes on that until she officially joins us. But what that leads me to is my next point, and Dig. Dig is Dig's getting very close. He's, I'm sure, going to be the next one that's going to become an ambassador. So I want to say an early congratulations to Dig, because it's going to happen real soon. And there are a couple of things that we have to do to get him to that point, and that's going to be one of my goals over the next couple of weeks. And, certainly we need everybody's help, which we all do anyway, so nothing that we're not already doing. But I want to make sure that Dig gets some good engagement going on at least one post. Dig, do you know offhand? I know when I checked the other day, I think you had 91 members, so you're getting very close to that magic 100. Do you know how many you have at the moment?
Yes, I still have 91, and I think it's because this week I didn't do as I usually. This week I was virtually not yet, so I'm still at 91.
That's cool. You're getting very close. Look, I had a rough week of work this week, so I wasn't as active bringing members into my group either. So, again, these things are going to happen to everybody, so that's not a problem. But what I would like to see you do, Dig, is when you get a chance, and I don't know how this coming week is shaping up for you, but if you do have a chance, I know you can always do, we need you to get an engagement post. I know that we've had some, pure engagement posts. Dig, would you mind muting, Dig? There's a lot of background noise. Thank you. So I know that, we've had, for pure engagement posts, we've had, toilet paper, upside down, inside out, or whatever exactly was, top to bottom, bottom to top. But, things like that, they may sound a little bit silly, but they are absolutely great for engagement because it's fun. So, one of the things that you can do for a pure engagement post, and, there are, things that really, really work well. It can be something like, a basic quote, which I know you do in your community. You might have some sort of a funny image or something, and you can put a caption to it. Those things work real well. Fill in the blank works real well. Just basically asking basic questions, works real well. So come up with something that, resonates with you, maybe something you're seeing in another ambassador satellite community, something that you can post, and you should probably get good results from that. Certainly including myself, if the 5 of us from this Hangout go and support that, which we certainly always do, right there you've got 5 comments and shares and likes, and all you're going to need from the rest of your community is just 5 more people, going in and engaging. And then you've got the 10 that you need as one of the qualifications to become an ambassador. So, we should certainly be able to make that happen for you in the very near future. So take advantage of the people that you have in your group now, and of course take advantage of us, and let's get a good engagement post going so we can get a lot of good engagement and get at least 10 responses for you. So again, if that's something that you can accomplish this week, that would be great. And if not, you can certainly do it the following week, because you are close, and 91 members is great. So you're doing a fabulous job. And, my goal, my mission is to get everybody to that ambassador level. And I know all you guys are going to definitely be there. I know that, Glenna, I don't believe you've started your community yet, but with all the support and the training and the tools and the resources that we have, once you do start your community, you'll definitely get to 100 people as well. And, and I don't want anybody to think that, well, even if you have an existing group right now and it's not growing as quickly as you'd like it to, and I see that you guys are all having, good positive results so far, but, you're not going to get 100 people overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I don't want you to think that because there are some groups out there, some ambassador communities that have over 500, over 1,000, whatever that number may be, I don't want you to think, oh my goodness, how am I going to succeed with this if I don't have those kinds of numbers? The thing to keep in mind, it's really like basic list building. There are marketers out there that have tens of thousands of people on their list. But if you've got 10,000 people on your list and 10,000 people are not responsive and they don't join you or buy from you or follow you or engage with you, because people are on so many lists that we've mentioned that previously, they're not going to get the results that you would think they would get with that kind of a list, while you have a lot of marketers that in doing their list building, and building a community is nothing more, it's list building because you're generating leads. Every time you get a new member, it's a new lead, it's a new prospect. So one of the things that's going to happen is with a lot of marketers out there, they might only have hundreds on their list as opposed to thousands, but of those hundreds, if you get 5% or 10% of people that resonate with your message, that connect with you, and that know, like, and trust you when you're providing value to them, they will join you, they will buy from you, and all those other positive things that are going to happen when you have a responsive list. So you can have just 100 or 200 or 300 people in your community and still get awesome off-the-chart results, because you're going to find people that are either in your target audience or possibly not in your target audience, but that are in your community that will connect and will resonate with the message you're putting out there. And those are the people that you're going to want to connect with and build that rapport and relationship with. And those are the people that are going to join your business. Those are the people that are going to join you in MLSP. Those are the people that you're going to be able to monetize through your community. So it's always a numbers game, and it's good to have as many people in your community, but that's a gradual thing. It's a process that will keep continuing over the course of time. But if you don't have as many people as you'd like at this point, I don't want you to be overly concerned about it, because it will continue to grow and you can still get great results even with a smaller amount of people, as long as they're engaging and they're open to connecting with you and to hearing what you have to say and what you have to offer. And as you develop your conversations, you're going to find out what these people need, and you're going to find out whether you've got the right product to help them. Again, whether it's MLSP, whether it's your primary, whatever it is, if there's that message to market match, you're going to be able to do very, very well, because you're going to have people that are going to be responsive. So I just wanted to quickly get that out there also. And now what I'd like to do is what we normally do. Sometimes we do it early, sometimes we do it late. But I'd like to just ask you guys what you did. I know Dig told us a little bit before we went live, but if you can just tell me a little bit about what you did this week and what steps you took to move your business forward, or where maybe you're having some obstacles and you need some additional help or something like that. So Deb, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and just give us a little bit of feedback.
Well, I went through more trainings, and I tried to do value posts. More than usual I try to do, because my time is real limited. And, I did the regular posting, try to get engagement posts, value posts, and I also did an event, and I also got somebody that signed into the MLSP event, but I don't know where they came from. I mean, I don't know because I tried to look them up in my friends list and at Facebook, and they're not there. There's a lot of Sherry Harrises on Facebook, but none of them are my friends. And I was just trying to figure out where that person came from, because I don't know where they came from. I did post it on Instagram, but of course you can't click the link on Instagram when you post it. I don't know whether it was somebody from there. And there was also somebody else that went in there, but I already know who he is. I'm not going to mention his name. And okay, bye-bye. And what else happened? Somebody found a link to my main opportunity and went in there, and I don't know where they came from either, or how they got that link, except, I don't know, people are starting to show up in different places, but I don't know where they're coming from, is what it is. And then I posted a replay for the webinar, and Yasmin Gleason, does anyone know her?
Yeah, I do.
She wanted the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if she has her own community?
I'm not sure if she has her own community at this point, but I know that she's a member of several of the satellite communities. So she might, a lot of times what's going to happen, Deb, a lot of times, members that are in our group and several other of our groups, will also just try and show support, which is great, like we do for one another, and they'll just try and get the conversation going to help you out. So they may say, send me a link, when they may already have the link, so they don't really need the link, but, never pass up an opportunity. Always look to send it out anyway.
No, she doesn't have it, and she's not in MLSP, but I gave her the link to that, and so I'll probably ask her to join my community, because I was checking, and I don't think she has her own community, and what she's posting on her personal page isn't really relevant to what we do. So I was just wondering, all about that. But basically, that's what I've been doing. I've been posting a lot on Instagram. I get a lot of good responses on Instagram, a lot of good comments and all that stuff, but I don't think anyone has actually come from Instagram to me yet. And I probably need more followers. I'm up to like 460 some followers, but I probably need more. But I've been looking at Instagram, and it looks like everybody's like spamming their opportunity. When I get private messages, it's like I can tell they're like pre-done messages that are copied and pasted and probably into everybody's message boxes. So it's hard to communicate with people on there. Really, it is. It's hard to really communicate with people, even when I don't post on certain days, especially like over the weekends, I notice I give them like, people are like following me, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Because I didn't post yet today on there. And all night long, my phone lights up, and probably from different parts of the country. But it's like everybody's doing things so quick on there, it's like I don't think anybody really notices anything. They're just so busy doing their thing. So I don't know whether that's really a good platform to be on or not. That's my even though other people they seem to having great success, maybe I just need to have like over 1,000 followers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, again, it's like I was saying before as far as list building. You don't really have to have, it's a numbers game, and it's great to have more as opposed to less, but if you have people that are action takers and people that are engaging, it doesn't really matter. 400 is a good starting point. Where you are, you can definitely get results, but just like Facebook, Instagram is changing their algorithms. So things are changing, and what was working, a week or two ago may not be working now. People are very interested in just getting their own message out there and not necessarily checking out what anybody else says. I like Instagram. I've developed a lot of leads, but one of the things I'm doing, the way that I'm using it now, is to entice people into the community. By asking people, and that strategy that I use, where I get notifications that you have a new friend that's on Instagram who's a Facebook friend, reaching out to them, telling them I've got great training, and then telling them they can get access to it if they join my community. So that still continues to work very, very well. So you can certainly utilize that strategy. as far as everything else with Instagram, it is something that probably, I know it's a little bit easier for you and your travels and things like that to post an image, and Instagram is still a very powerful platform, but again, that's why I think our communities are really, really powerful, because they're really developing a connection and a relationship with people, because you're actually having conversations. On Instagram, you never know if you're going to get somebody that's really going to engage, or even if they do give you a like on a post. And you've got people that, yeah, I posted things months ago, and now people that are first looking for other people to follow are liking some of the content I put out there months ago. So you're going to get all of a sudden from a new group of people on Instagram, or people that are currently out there looking for people to follow, all of a sudden you're going to get a lot of dings and a lot of likes and a lot of new followers and a lot of new connections. That happens in spurts, so that's nothing. As far as answering your other question, as far as where these leads came from, one of the things that you can do, and you can utilize MLSP when you create links, as opposed to, let's say, a pretty link that you can create off of your blog, you can create custom links in the back office of MLSP, and you can create tracking links. So when you actually put a link out there, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, just like when you have an affiliate link with like / equals, you can basically do that with a tracking link and say Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest, so that when you do get a lead into your back office, you're going to know where that lead came from. Mm-hmm. But in addition to that, in addition to knowing where it came from, it's great that you just have a lead, and whether they go into your funnel or your community or whatever it is, or your autoresponder, it's still great to reach out. Now, if you have, if they're in your back office of MLSP, you'll have at least an email address and you'll have a name. So if you recall what I showed you last week with the strategy, where you can just send me the name and the email address, we can track them down, we can find out, as long as they're on Google Plus or they're on Facebook, which they most likely are, we can find out exactly who they are. And, we'll be able to find out maybe from Google Plus what they look like, so you can identify them a little bit more easily on Facebook. So, yeah, it's definitely important to know not only where they came from, but who exactly it is that they are. Because if you have a lot of breadcrumbs out there, and you've been putting your link out there, and it's gone viral, or it's on Facebook, or it's on Google Plus, you're going to get people that are going to be opting in, and you have no idea who they are, and they may not be a Facebook friend. Because a lot of these things are just out there on the net, and people are searching, and they're finding your content. And Google Plus is a great place to post content, because it comes up in the Google searches. I have content that I posted years ago that when I go to check on a keyword, it's still coming up on the first page, maybe the first 10 results of Google Plus. So you might have content out there that you created a while ago, or content that's out there that you're not even aware of where it is, and people are doing a search, finding it, and clicking on a link and opting into a page or whatever it is, or claiming some training. So, like I said, if you have an email and a name that you can get to me, then we can certainly try and identify that person so you can reach out and connect, because they're raising their hand. If they're opting into anything, you definitely want to engage with them, because they're a viable prospect and they're targeted.
I was thinking of just calling her. Her phone number's in there.
Oh, sure. Not everybody leaves a phone number. So, yeah, definitely. If there's a phone number, then by all means, go out and call. A lot of people don't want to go and take it to that next step and go to the phone. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, if you're willing to, that's great, because ultimately the people that do that are going to have the most success and get the most leads, or convert them and get the most signups. Absolutely. Go for it. I couldn't urge you more strongly.
Well, I was just going to suggest to her, in so many words, to welcome her to join my community for some more training and whatnot, and ask her where she found my link and things like that.
Absolutely.
And ask her the open-ended questions that we are supposed to ask.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like at work and stuff, I just get tired of people. We email a lot, and finally, people, like at work, they're asking questions. We have vendors and things like that, and they're asking about this and that. And finally, I just pick up the phone and I just call them, because I'm tired of wasting time, actually, emailing back and forth. And sometimes the communications with the emails back and forth, people don't understand. You know, you're trying to communicate something, but the communication on the other side is not receiving what you're trying to say. You know, and I studied this in college too. I mean, you communicate, you're trying to communicate, but the other person is not receiving your communication the way you intended it to be received. So it's actually better to speak.
Oh, you're so right. And I studied that in college too. It's funny that you mentioned that, but absolutely. And I experienced that on my day job almost every day also, and I'm sure most of us do in our personal lives as well. Yeah, it's always great to go to the phone or to connect with them even on Skype. So yeah, and that's the quickest way to really, get to the meat of the, of the situation, to find out and to do it quickly. I mean, you can have chats on Facebook, which is great, chats on Skype, which is great for people that don't want to go and take it to the phone, and that's fine because you can get signups, you can get, build a business by never having a phone conversation. But for those of us that are willing to go to the next step, that accelerates the whole process, and you can get answers and know exactly where you stand. And sure, and take it in gradual steps. And you don't have to ask a lot of questions at that initial point. Keep the conversation short. It's like that, getting to know you conversation that Gavin talks about. Keep it to within 5 minutes. You can ask a couple of key questions. Definitely invite them to your community first and foremost for a lot of additional training, because obviously they did opt in, so they are obviously online marketers of some type, and they're looking for something. And yeah, so get them into your community, and then you can open it up, open the conversation up, and ask all those pertinent questions and take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. So that's great. You've got a lot accomplished during the course of the week, and I know how difficult that can be when you're working your job full time and commuting and everything. So that's great. I think you did a great job, and you took a lot more action, and you're doing it consistently. And skipping a day does not mean you're not being consistent. But you've been very, very consistent, and keep doing what you're doing, and that's great. And you're going to start to see results more and more, and you're going to get more leads into your back office, and you're going to see things start to happen because you are taking consistent action. So definitely keep up the great work.
Well, I'm feeling better too, so I think I took more action this week than I had like the last 2 weeks. I just couldn't. I couldn't deal. But I just did like minimal the last 2 weeks, but this week I made sure I got through more trainings and posted what I was learning in the trainings and applying what I was learning at the same time. So I had better time management as well as feeling better. So
yeah, that has an awful lot to do with it. That's great. So yeah, as when you're feeling under the weather, and we've all been there too, you're not going to be nearly as productive. But you're getting back fully into the swing of things, which is great. And yeah, you're taking a lot. You're taking probably more action than you may even realize. And a lot of people that are part-time online marketers take very, very limited action, and it just it's hit or miss. So even if they put great content out there, there's so little of it that people are not really going to follow them. They're not really going to join them, even in their communities if they have one. So for somebody that's out there and posting, every day or close to every day, especially when you have a community, because there's no getting around it. The results can be great, and it's certainly worthwhile, but the bottom line is it's a commitment. When you start a community, you are making a commitment to your members. And if you don't post on a regular basis, I'm not going to say daily. Daily is great. Multiple times a day is even better. But as long as you're commenting and you're posting, you're engaging on and giving good quality content, on a regular basis, people come to expect that. And then all of a sudden, if you disappear for a week or 2 weeks, you're going to find out that whatever members you have in your community that have been engaging are going to stop engaging themselves or just not be active at all and possibly even leave the community. So it's important that it is a commitment that you're making. And if you want to get results and maximize the results, then you definitely have to show up on a regular basis, which all of you guys are doing. And I think it's great, and I commend all of you. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and as you do more of it, the results are going to get better. More members are going to come into your community, and again, you're going to see the results. Even if you're not seeing them now, you're going to see them, and you don't need everybody to engage. You just need some people to engage, and those are the people you're going to target and that you're going to really connect with, and go through the conversation, ascension steps, and everything else. So, great job.
Thank you.
And Dig, I know we spoke a little bit before we went live, so I'm going to still ask you to unmute yourself and just tell us a little bit about your challenges for the week and where you are with the 6 steps.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Everybody? Yes. Yes, what happens is that I am retired because of age. Then I've got a part-time job where I usually go to work, I think, once a week, every Tuesday. Then once a month I go weekend. So this week from Tuesday to Friday, I had to go and do a course which will make me work better. So I didn't work as I usually do. However, the show went on, and this week I learned something new, which was so nice. There's this prospect who optimistically want to start by becoming an ambassador. Then I tried to explain to her how it goes, that you can't just be, she wanted actually to buy herself into ambassador. Then I told her that no, we don't buy ourselves into ambassador. You have to sort of apply for it and be approved. And when I saw the challenging me, I had to get expert advice, which was Mark, and Mark took over. So far now, I did now learn how to do this three people chat because I didn't know how to do it. So it's something new I learned. Then I'm still continuing with the friends. I look for friends. Then when I get them, as we are new friends, then I invite them to the community. Also, old friends, I used to say Happy New Year. Now I see we are not so much Happy New Year. I changed it to a Happy 2016. But I'm continuing to get friends and bring them to my community. Then the style of Instagram and friends is working nicely because those friends of mine who are joining Instagram, I do see your friend so-and-so is on Instagram. And what is nice is that they put their Instagram name. They also put their name in Facebook. Then I just go to Facebook, put and see where they are. And those who are not so advanced in Instagram, then I invite them to the Instagram cheat sheet. Then I'm also continue with every at least once a day, I do make posting. However, the only thing that has happened this week is that I haven't had addition to my community, but it's because of other challenges. I hope from tomorrow things may become better.
Yeah, now that's awesome, Dig. I mean, I've watched and I've seen. I know that you've been really doing a lot, and again, just like with all the rest of us too, considering you had certain challenges, with working part-time and everything during the week, and you didn't have as much time to do your online marketing. You put a lot of stuff out there. You did a lot. You really have taken action, which is great. And like I was saying before, I know obviously who you're referring to as far as the prospect that you have, and you don't have to have a million prospects. You just have to have the right ones and connect with the right ones. And this goes back to what I had mentioned previously, and I had mentioned last week, and again I want to mention again. Anytime anybody has any sort of a prospect, whether it's for your primary, whether it's for MLSP, these three-way chat groups, you start a three-way chat, just like a three-way conversation with your upline, whatever it might be in your primary. They're very, very powerful and very, very effective. And I'm always there to support you guys. So if you have a prospect, like Dig did this week and that we're working on right now, by all means, go ahead, reach out to me. We'll set it up. I can answer any questions that they might have. And this way you'll see exactly how I address the certain questions that people may have. And it's a very, very powerful way of basically, getting some additional feedback. And sometimes, not that you guys aren't capable of signing people up on your own, because you certainly are. However, it's just, like they teach you in your primary or whatever it is, three-way conversations are very powerful. Always reach out to your upline as somebody that's, maybe gotten better results, somebody that maybe has been doing it a little bit longer, as a way to help you to get people, to close people into your business or into MLSP. So take advantage of that because it works. It's very, very powerful. So, good work, Dig, and I see that you're getting, and I'm happy that you mentioned the thing about the Instagram and getting the notifications, because those notifications, they will tell you, in addition to the Instagram username, they will give you the person's actual name, which is pretty much how they appear on Facebook. And if you're connected to them and you are a Facebook friend and you're being notified about that, you're going to have an image that's probably going to match what they have on Facebook, and you're going to have their name. So, Deb, even getting back to what you said, not always knowing where people came from. If you employ that particular strategy, you're going to know exactly, who it is, which of your friends, is on Instagram, and how you can connect with them, and you can offer them the training. And especially now with all the algorithm changes that I mentioned before on Instagram, it's more important than ever. And even if you're not personally using Instagram, there are a lot of people that are, and you can get great timely training into their hands. And then it's easy to identify who they are. So if you're getting a notification that a Facebook friend is now on Instagram, you can target them very, very easily, identify them very, very easily on Facebook, and know exactly who you're dealing with, and use that as leverage to get them into your community. So that works beautifully, and it has for a long time, and it's going to continue to. So, again, just wanted to, put that out there. So, Dig, great, work this week, considering that you didn't have as much time to devote. So, excellent. Keep up the great work. And now, Glenna, I'm going to ask you the same thing, so you can unmute yourself. And it's your turn. You're on.
Okay. I'm basically working this week on, I did get, claim the names, and I forgot that you had said put Glenna Stevenson in front of it. So if I change my name from my, I did my Facebook, not my Facebook group, but fan page. So I forgot, it's Healthy Life, Healthy Business, Healthy Life, and I forgot to put Glenna Stevenson's Healthy Business. So I have one chance to change it, or I could just do another one. I could do another Facebook page with the whole thing on it. So I did that to get started, and then I also have been working on my logo. And I need to get some business cards because I've got a couple events coming up that I want to have them for. I have been a little bit more active on Facebook. I'm not posting much. I did do did set up for last week's Wednesday seminar. I did an event for that in Google Plus as well as Facebook. And I've already set up one for the 26th. I think that's the Tuesday webinar, and then for MLSP. And I'm waiting on the email for next Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet. So I'm kind of starting to get a rhythm. I also started meditating every day, and I bought a couple of programs, and it's really helping because it's kind of like settling me down for the day. I'm not anxious and antsy and starting the day with a lot of worry. I'm actually relaxed and able to process things faster because I'm not in an emotional state. I'm grounded. So that's been working really well. So I think that's it. I may have done a couple more things.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's definitely productive.
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing feedback? Okay, it seems to have gone away. Oh, no, I am getting feedback. Are you hearing feedback, anybody?
I'm hearing feedback. It might be my speaker system.
It could be. Let's try mute yourself, and we'll see if it goes away. Okay, it sounds like it definitely went away, so it could have been on your end, so that's fine. Again, you've been very, very productive. I love the name of your business. I think that it's great. It's catchy, but definitely, by all means, when you set up a fan page, you set up a community, anything else, you always want to brand yourself. So definitely whether you put, your personal name, whether it's Glenn Stevenson or any of us, at the beginning of it, you want to call attention to your business, so it's fine to, put that first and then just add like with Glenn Stevenson or with Mark Horn or whatever it is at the end. But this way you're calling attention to your business and you're branding yourself. So that's very important to do. So that, again, a step taking your business forward. I mean, that's powerful stuff, business cards and everything else that you're working on. That's great. Getting out there and posting, connecting with people, whatever it is that you're doing, you are taking your business forward. You are taking positive steps and getting your message out there and trying to connect with the right people. And, once you have your target market, your target audience identified, and you basically know what your niche is. So, when you start creating the content that's going to really speak to those people, that's the next inevitable step, and that's really going to take your business to the next level. So, again, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, there's going to be only so much time that we have to really go out there and market online, so you certainly want to go out there and you want to be as efficient as you possibly can, and taking some sort of action, again, whether it's on a daily basis, every other day, whatever it is, you're probably doing a lot more than you even realize, or possibly a lot more than you give yourself credit for. And, certainly never beat yourself up because you think you could have done more, because whatever it is that you're doing is taking your business forward. And that's what it's all about. And all you guys are doing that consistently. So, that's great. And Glenn, great, week's work from you as well. So I am going to go over to Tamara now and ask you to do the same thing, if you can unmute yourself and tell us what's going on.
Hi guys.
Hey, Tamara.
Now, I've been working on getting content. I've been going through the course, writing my notes, getting things out. Now, I know that I don't feel I want to like I'm jumping ahead of myself or not, because I have not been connecting with a lot of people, but I've been having a lot of people adding me as friends. So, requesting friend requests, and I haven't really processed them yet, just because I'm trying to stay with the course and do everything in line. Because Gavin mentions about we'll be doing some training on how to connect with people, and that's the one thing. We have the engagement, but what do I do with them once they engage? What's the whole purpose of them engaging? Am I supposed to do something next after they? Because I just put out a poll, where are you struggling? Either lack of training, lack of leads, lack of support, or you just don't know how to talk to people. And I've had a couple engagement, and one guy says all the above. Now what do I do? So I haven't gone through enough yet of the course to learn all the little small things. But I am consistently, every day, I told my husband, no matter what, I got to do some training and post something in my groups. The 2 posts in the groups, 2 posts on my, teaser group, teaser post. I have not had any. I had one person ask to join my group, but I think where I'm lacking is that I'm not going out and getting enough people or talking to enough people to either build my Facebook friends list, nor have I gone back recently or talked to anybody else that's been on my friends, because I've been so concentrating on the training and the steps I need to do. Now I know what to do once I get them in my community, is now connecting with people to get them into my community. So I'm kind of stuck there. So what would be your suggestion, because do I just go ahead and continue, go through the training and follow through, or do I, I don't want to try and take on too much and feel like I'm overwhelmed.
What would help them? Do they have the free copy of the Network Marketer's Blueprint?
Yes, that was one of the things he requested, so I gave that to him.
That's going to help them on everything. If they go through that, it's going to help them on everything. So that's one solution.
I've known this guy for a while. He was with me, Mark, where I used to be before, where it didn't work out.
Yeah.
That's where I met him. And so he's been on my friends list for several years. I have another gentleman who's like, well, what business are you trying to build? And he says, well, I'm still trying to build that company. And I'm like, I can't help him build that company when I know what that company is doing. Safeless, traffic exchanges, just inviting people to come to their webinar, but they don't have a community. They're not building relationships. They're not doing this. They're not doing what I'm learning here now. So I'm like, how do I approach? And the owner of the other companies, she even texted me this morning already asking me how I'm doing. So how do I approach these guys without bashing or discerning the other person? Because then I don't need that to hit back on me and blackball me in my community or whatever, because I don't want to talk anything negative about anybody.
And you're absolutely right. Oops, I'm sorry. Tara, I see your lips moving, but nothing's coming out. You might be a little problem with your mic.
Oh, you were doing that earlier. I thought you were Chinese earlier because you were talking and your voice came after. So, yeah, you were doing the same thing.
But no subtitles.
No.
Yeah, just a little bit of a delay. It's a Godzilla movie. Godzilla versus Mothra.
Oh, don't say that. My husband, everyone always mispronounces my name, Tamra. So my husband says it's like Mothra Tamra. And so I had people calling me Mothra. So it's funny that you'd say that.
Anyway.
But yeah, back to my question.
Mm-hmm.
So back to my question. How do I deal with that? I've been kind of avoiding them. So I've been avoiding them because I don't know how to ethically and connect with them without saying, "Look, she's wrong."
Basically, you're absolutely right. You never, ever want to bash another company or say anything negative because it can come back to hurt you later on. But there are easy ways to, you've got a tool and a resource. It doesn't matter what their business is, whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, whether you've done it before or not done it before. You've got a tool, an MLSP, that's going to help anybody in any business. It's a great resource. And it's something that...
Not with this, not with hers. Now, with hers is all about list building. How to build a list by email. That's all she does. You set out traffic exchanges, you sit there and click on the buttons to get your points, to get your traffic exchanges, to get other people to see your opportunity. That does not work.
No, it doesn't.
How do I tell these guys that does not work without, I don't understand how I can teach them our strategies for them to build her company. It was like, then they're trying to two different things, two different methods.
Well, first of all, like you said before, you never want to disparage something else that somebody else is doing. Plus, they may really, really believe strongly, like a lot of people do, in these kinds of, traffic exchanges. I've tried all these things. Many of us probably have, and I agree with you. They definitely don't work. Everybody is very single-minded. Everybody's out there just, trying to get people to look at their particular links and their opportunities. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're just looking at it. They're not even reading them. They're just waiting for the timer so they can go on and they can get their credits for the traffic exchange, and nobody's reading anything. So there are some people that maybe get into these particular traffic exchanges at the very beginning before you have thousands of members, so people are a little bit more likely to really maybe take a closer look at your opportunity. But by and large, these things don't work. But if somebody is really a believer, and I know a lot of people that believe in the exchanges, believe in the safe lists, and for some people they do work. And there's not going to be much you can do with the exception of, without even going into a lot of detail, and what you had mentioned earlier as far as friends. You're getting Facebook friends, but you haven't necessarily processed them yet. One of the important things, and I think it's great that you're focused on your training and the 6 steps, but don't sell yourself short. Don't think that until you get through that course or until you get through certain modules that you're not going to really be equipped to know what to say to people, because you will, and especially if it's somebody that you've been friends with for a long period of time, the conversation should just flow very, very naturally. And then before she disappeared, mentioned, and it's very important, even if you just use the basic steps from the conversation ascension, where you lead up to giving out the online marketer's blueprint, and you ask those like 5 or 6 questions in sequence, that's very powerful, and those are great conversation starters. And once you go through those 6 basic questions with a new friend, then you're going to already get a really good feel for where they are in their, in their lives in terms of, being an online marketer. If they're struggling, if they're having difficulty generating leads, and all these things lead them and you right into, not only the marketer's blueprint, but then to take it to the next step with MLSP. So you've got the tools that you can use. They're not going to work with everybody. Might not work with somebody that loves traffic exchanges. However, what you can do with them is just tell them that you have a new community, you offer tips, you offer strategies, things that are great, that can help them regardless of their business. And let them join your community. Let them see the content. Let them decide for themselves whether it's something that can help them or not, and do the same thing. Have the conversation, ask them those basic questions, get the online marketer's blueprint into their hands. There are a lot of people that might say, oh, they're doing great with traffic exchanges, but really maybe they aren't doing so great. And maybe they haven't thought about an alternative to that, or a way to just bring in another stream of income, and a different approach that they can use that might all of a sudden, a light bulb may go off, something may really resonate with them, and they might say to themselves after going through those training videos, you know what, there really is a better way. And why am I wasting my time at the traffic exchanges when I can be building real relationships and getting people into my business? Because people on traffic exchanges, some of them just do that to generate income. Others obviously do that to get people into their primary. So these are people that are probably doing more than just traffic exchanges and safe lists because they're trying to build their business. So once you expose them to something as powerful as the online blueprint, they're going to start looking at things and thinking about things a little bit differently. And once they do that, that's going to open up the doors to a lot of other things, and in your case specifically, MLSP. And that's a great thing. And as far as your friends, I would definitely, find, because it only takes maybe 10, 15 minutes a day, but I think it's important if you have new friend requests, process those friend requests, send them a basic greeting on their, you want to put it on their profile, on their timeline, and then send them a private message. And in that private message, without giving any links at all, you basically, and I'll send to the chat group, which I think is in the last message that I sent into the chat group anyway, just one of the basic lines, and if not, I'll make sure that you guys all have it. It's just a basic introduction to a new friend where you're just asking them to, give you a little bit more information about themselves and tell them you'd like to invite them into your group, tell them a little bit about your community, and, would you like a link? So it's not anything where you're pitching your links. It's very benign, and most people will go for that, and you don't even have to worry about it. Wait for a response. There's nothing to force. Don't try and create something until they're ready. If they don't engage, if they don't respond, then they're not probably a good candidate anyway. So wait for their response, and then you can take it to the next level. But definitely, these are leads. So you want to at least process the request, but you can look at their modules, look at their profile, see if they seem to be marketers, and if it's even worth your time.
Okay. I had a question that just came out of my head. Okay, the engagement. I mean, we put out these engagement posts about the toilet paper, or are you a cat person or a dog person? What's the purpose of that? What is the purpose of their engagement? I mean, are we supposed to do something with that afterwards? I mean, I don't understand. Gavin really hasn't covered that yet.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw you were still talking, so I didn't want to say anything, because we definitely have that timing issue going on today. Okay, absolutely. I mean, I think that, well, first of all, the purpose of the engagement post is a twofold purpose. Number one, you want to make sure that when you post something in your community, people see it. So they're seeing your content because with all these algorithm changes, you never know them, which is why we sometimes put out posts, basically asking people to let me know if you're seeing my post. It's strictly that for no other purpose than to just get people in your community to let you know, are you seeing my stuff? So that if you say yes and you've engaged, and there's that word again, engaged, then Facebook is going to continue to show your content in their news feed. So a basic engagement post is pretty much, and why it can be something that seems pretty silly sometimes, but you want as many people as possible to engage, and people enjoy and they find fun engaging with that kind of post. So first of all, you're going to get people to engage, and once they've engaged in your community or on your Facebook profile, that's somebody that you want to try and build that relationship with because they've raised their hand and they've said, hey, yes, regardless of whatever the content is, I like what she's putting out there. So now you want to try and get them into your community if you post it on your profile, or if they've responded to something in your community, then connect with them, ask them those questions, find out eventually if they are marketers, if they have any challenges, do they have that blueprint? If not, offer it to them. So, that's always going to be your goal when you're having, the conversations, get the blueprint into their hands, and that opens up a lot of doors eventually. But before that, while you're having that engagement, so it's going to tell Facebook that they want to see more of your content, and it's going to create the engagement within your community so you know which people are raising their hand and saying, okay, I'm open to having more conversations and taking this to the next level. Because if they weren't, they'd ignore the post altogether. And you'd be surprised. It's amazing how many people comment on that kind of a post. And it may seem, a little counter to what, it's counterintuitive. Here I am trying to build a teaching community and offer real value and real great content, and now all of a sudden I'm asking them if they like the toilet paper up or down. It might seem pretty silly, but it does serve those two purposes. It's going to get most people to communicate and respond and engage, and that's going to make sure that Facebook keeps showing your content to them. So that's the primary reason, and definitely reach out, no matter how silly you think the post may be. If you get engagement, reach out to them.
Okay.
So hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, thank you. So no matter what, I mean, even though I'm taking the time, I have to take time, as far as getting in touch with my own friends and processing the new friend requests, but just going out to the different communities and trying to connect with people, I haven't been doing that either. I'm not building my, sometimes I wonder if I made the mistake of deleting so many of my friends list, but I just thought maybe if I started fresh. Because at that point in time, I deleted everybody. I had no intentions of ever getting back online and doing network marketing ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got rid of a lot of people and thought I'd start fresh. But going out there and getting it, because the content that I'm putting out there on my Facebook, I'm not getting a whole lot of engagement, but you're saying that'll come with time as people see my stuff more often. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
Okay. So I'm on the right track as far as posting every day, even though they may not be connecting. It's one of those domino effects that over time it's all going to just overflow and all start coming in.
Absolutely, and I think, yeah, definitely, and that's why it's important. And I stress, the importance of being consistent, because what a lot of marketers are going to do that have communities, they're going to get frustrated because they're not going to get the engagement, and because of that, they're going to stop posting on a daily basis. They're going to stop posting on a regular basis, and then it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy where they're frustrated because they're not getting the engagement, so they start cutting back on their daily action that they should be taking, and then because of that, they're even going to get less engagement or no engagement. And then that's going to sort of feed on itself, and they're going to say to themselves, you see, this isn't working, this isn't really cut out, I'm not really cut out for this, and I'm not getting the results that I was told I would get or I expected to get. But that's why it's important to sort of push through that, and even when you're not getting the engagement, keep putting out that content because it's going into your news feed. So even people outside of your group, because it's a public group, are seeing that content. So you never really know where that next new community member is going to be coming from. So definitely don't shy away from putting out daily content, regular content, value content, engagement content, feeder content on your profile or Instagram or Google Plus to get people into your community. Keep doing the same things you're doing on a daily basis, and the results are going to definitely come. And not just because you're going to be getting more community members, that in and of itself is going to help, but it's going to also reinforce what you're doing. It's going to give you more practice. You're going to get better at it. You're going to get more confident. You're going to know better what to say when you do have a lead and a prospect, and you're talking to people in your community or outside of your community. So I definitely encourage everybody, regardless of the results that you've gotten up until now, to just keep on doing what you're doing on a consistent basis, persevere, be persistent, because you will. And it's difficult sometimes when you tell somebody, be patient, the results are going to come. You're going to wonder, well, how long am I supposed to be patient for? There's no real answer for that. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. But so many marketers, online marketers, get frustrated, and they don't realize how close they are to a breakthrough, and they just throw in the towel, which is a shame. And that's why you have to push through some of these tough times, because it is a process. And it does take a little bit of time. But for those of us that are willing to put in that time and understand that it might not necessarily happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight with Gavin. It didn't happen overnight with Ray Higdon. It doesn't happen overnight for most successful marketers. They've struggled. But now we all have the benefit of having access to them, learning from them to avoid, learning from them what it was that took them years to find out and to figure out, and we can accelerate our growth and sort of take those shortcuts, because now we're exposed to the right people and the right training and the right resources. So it's not going to take us the years like it may have taken them in the early days. So we have that added benefit. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. You're going to definitely see the results. I can't, pinpoint exactly when, but I can tell you one thing: it's not going to be way down the line. It's going to happen a lot sooner than you may realize or you may think.
Well, one of the things I haven't done on my group, that I'm still in that nervous stage, but you know what my message is. I mean, it's not just about the training. It's about the support. It's about, if you're not loving what you're doing, or if you don't have a passion for the MLM, or God's, you got a God-given talent. If you're not into MLM, what passion do you like to go forward? I haven't been writing about that stuff. I haven't been writing my message the way that God kind of intended me to do, because I've been focusing so much just on the training part and not my message from my heart part, to draw the right people to me. And I kind of feel, because I'm trying to follow the training, and the training all it talks about is training. It's not talking about the emotional side and stuff like that. And that's where I kind of like want my group to be different, that it's not just a training place. It's a place for you to just ask Aunt Tam, well, how did you get through those hard times? Or, just ask Aunt Tam, okay, well, you don't have an MLM company? No, I don't, and I will not be in another MLM company, because my passion is not to trying to get people underneath me and then have to constantly babysit them for them to make money in order for me to make money. I'd rather just teach people how to take their passion and run with it. So my message is a little different than what a lot of these communities that I'm seeing in MLSP or going through this course. So I'm still a little nervous of writing outside of what I'm learning. What are you guys? I mean, I know you Claudia and Deb and stuff. You guys have been to my blog or been to my community. But do you see where I'm saying that I want it to be more than just training. I want to, because if you don't have that drive or that passion to move forward, or if you don't like that company, you're not going to do anything with it. And that's kind of like where my message is wanting to be. So I'm just nervous that if I bring up religion, because that was one of the things in one of the trainings that I was Gavin's group, when the two girls or whatever, they're telling me, don't mention religion on your, in your business thing. I'm like, but that's my whole message, is that God gave you a passion, a God-given talent to use to create your abundance.
Well,
that's my message.
Well, maybe that's the people you want to attract then. Those are the people you want to attract, are the ones that are more religious. And they're out there everywhere. They're everywhere, because I see them everywhere. I see them on Instagram. They're all there. Yeah, I see them everywhere, so maybe you should go after those people. Because they're out there, they're trying to do their businesses, and so that's your niche. Gavin talks about finding a niche. Well, maybe that specific type of person is your niche. So then you can freely talk about it. So search for those people. Search for, go into, Facebook and find, religious groups or something like that. Because they're all trying to build businesses also. And a lot of them are very religious. I know, a lot of Mary Kay people are really religious, because her golden rule was treat others the way you want to be treated. Her company was based on all of that. So go out and try to find people that are religious in that niche, and then your group will be different than all of ours.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. But it's not like I'm a Bible thumper or anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that. I'm just like, God's given me a message to use your to use your talent to create your abundance. That is my message that I need to get out to everybody. Right. And I need to write about it. But I'm just kind of nervous because I don't know how people are going to take it. But then again, I want to set myself apart.
Just go for it. Go for it.
So that would be something I should write in my community.
Yeah, I think you should just go for it and see what the response is. You have to test it. See what the response is and put it out there, because people will be attracted to you. Those kind of people will be attracted to you.
Yeah, because not everybody likes MLM.
No, not everybody does. And so those people, but I guess for me, those people are my niche, the MLMers. The other ones aren't. But still, some people that aren't in MLM can come to my group, and they can still get something out of it as far as marketing their own business. But the MLMers are definitely the main target. Now yours, there's religious people in MLM everywhere. Like for example, I just said Mary Kay. I mean, that's a great place to start. You know what I mean? They are.
Like Claudia. I mean, she does essential oils, right? And she feels real good value in that. She likes that product because it's helped her with her Crohn's and stuff, so it's helped her. So I can see where she does that. I have never found an MLM company yet that I have liked the product where I would want to promote it as much as what she does. I don't take protein shakes, I don't take supplements, and I'm not into the health and wellness, and so that's kind of stuff. But I love my crafts, so I'm following my passion of doing my crafts. And even though I haven't really done a whole lot with my crafts right now, I do have a blog set up ready to use. And I want to take that blog and show other people, here, this is how you can take your passion, and here's your foundation, and now here's the training to take that passion to the next level. That's where I'm going at. That's where my niche is,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, maybe then you're not wanting to attract MLMers. You need to attract people that have created their own products like you, and they need a way to market it.
I don't know, because I'm thinking with the MLMers, one, either they do like what or two, they really don't like their company, and they don't know that there's an alternative way of doing something, such as following their passion and finding out that they can, even if you like dogs, okay, you have dog training.
That's me.
So you have dog training. Because one of the things they said about on a blog is if you have a product like how to train your dog, and they say you should use a particular collar or something, make sure you have a company where you can sell the product. So if you're giving them a digital product on how to do something, make sure you're giving them a physical product to accomplish what they're learning in the digital. So that's what I've learned, how to set up a blog. So even if it's just a dog and you want to talk about a dog, I can get you affiliate programs to help you work with that. That's your passion. That's your, what I'm saying? So that's how I'm that's my message, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out in my community, because it's not all just training. It's following your passion, following what you love to do, because if you don't like what you're doing or like the company you're with, you're not going to do anything with it.
Well,
So that's kind of like where I'm going.
Put inspirational messages about following your passion, and you could do that, and just stop going after MLMers. I mean, they can join your group, but you got to figure out what your target market is, and it's obviously not MLM.
No.
No.
But I didn't know. It's not MLM, but it's people that aren't in MLM who did not realize there was an alternative way of making money online. It's like this. That's why I'm with MLSP, because I'm going to be able to make money with MLSP just by bringing people in and training them, regardless if it is their MLM business or another company. This is my main source of income until I build my crafting, because the people that comes into my group, they're like, oh, well, what do you do? I said, well, I'm following my passion. I'm creating my crafts, and I can direct them to my blog so they can see what craft things I've made. So I'm not trying to get them into a company. I'm just like, this is what I do. If you like one of my products, buy it from me. That's great. If you don't, you don't. So that's kind of like where I want my group to go.
Well, you're helping them. If you're wanting them to join you in MLSP, you are still helping them. You're helping them get the proper training. So whether they're MLMers or affiliates or whether they have their own products, they can learn still from that how to market their own thing.
Right.
So you're still helping them, no matter what.
Right. All right. So I just need to kind of like get over my fear of what people's going to think of what I say, because I'm going to say God-given talent, but I'm not going to go Bible thumping and giving scripture and all that. It's not that. It's just
Right. Right. That's. But I see that everywhere, and people do that. I mean, my biggest thing on Instagram this week was when I was like surprised. It said blessings. I found this thing. I have all these apps that I can create things, and I found this. It said blessings for Tuesday or something, and that's the first time I ever got over 100 likes on it. I was like, people are like attracted to this particular post, and I couldn't figure it out. But it was kind of. It wasn't really religious, but it sort of was.
Right, exactly. That's where I want to go. It's kind of not right.
It just bombarded. People saw it, and they were liking it, and they were commenting, and I'm just like, what is going on with this post? But there are people out there that like that kind of thing, so I would say just keep at it. Keep doing it.
Okay.
Okay, guys,
Well,
first of all,
your input.
First of all, guys, I got to tell you, I absolutely love this conversation and the dynamics of it. I think it's great, and I want to echo something that Deb said also, and I was going to say just do it, and I couldn't agree more. You definitely want to go out there and you want to send out that message, and don't be afraid to do it. Now, there are two big taboos, two things that you never really want to have a conversation about, or that you never want to really talk about on social media, because it can only lead to trouble, but it will probably get a lot of engagement because it's controversy. You don't want to talk about religion, and you don't want to talk about politics. However, you're not really, the way I perceive it, you're not talking about religion if you're just trying to, your vision is to help people with a God-given talent. I think that's considerably different than going out there and talking about religion and being that Bible thumper, which you're obviously not. So by talking about, following your passion and your God-given talent, that is considerably different. So don't be shy, don't hold back, don't be hesitant. The most important thing that you have to realize, and again, Deb had mentioned it also, is about, your target market. And one of the things I mentioned briefly last week, and I just want to mention it again for a few seconds, is that, and it's closely aligned, and it ties into what we're talking about, closely aligned with your target market, is basically your unique selling proposition, your USP. And let's say, for argument's sake, you've got your passion, whether it's for crafting. Let's say somebody else has a passion for blogging. Now, you want to take that skill that you have, you want to take that asset that you have, and you want to marry it with the target market that you're going after. So in your case, right, you don't want to pursue MLMers. They're going to come into your group, like Deb said. They're going to be in your community. They're going to resonate with your message to some degree. They might even join MLSP with you because they are online marketers. However, if you get that specific message of yours across, and I, again, wouldn't hesitate either to go ahead and tell them in a post right in your community, tell them what your vision is. Let them know what your vision is and what your goal is. And you want to be different. You want to stand out. You don't want your community to be the same as everybody else's. I'd like to think that mine's not. I'm doing things different than the other ambassadors are doing. And I think it's important to stand out and to have that unique selling proposition. So now you're going to take your passion, again, let's say it's blogging, for instance, and you're going to take your target market, which is maybe network marketers or non-MLMers that just want to, create what it is that you're creating, and you want to brand yourself, and you want to put that message out there, and that's basically your unique selling proposition branded to you. This is my passion. This is what I excel at. This is the message I want to send, and who do I want to send it to? I want to send it to people that are not traditional MLMers or network marketers, but people that have a passion, want to build a business, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it through my community. So when you marry all those things and you brand yourself at the same time, you're not only creating a very powerful message, but it's, again, that message to market match, and you're really addressing and you're putting out that message that's going to reach your target market. That's going to be very, very powerful. And will everybody resonate with that? Absolutely not. You don't want everybody to resonate to that. You can't market to everybody. And like I said last week also, and a lot of people online say, if you try to market to everyone, you're marketing to nobody. And that's really, really true. So while you're going to attract all kinds of people, including network marketers and MLMers, and again, you've got a resource, an MLM, to offer to them to help them, your message is going to really talk to the people that you really want to market to. And those people are going to pick up on that. And they're going to engage with that post. They're going to resonate with that vision that you're expressing. So definitely don't even think twice. Go out there, put something together, let people know what the vision, your personal vision is, not only for yourself, but for your community. And be proud of the fact that your community is going to be different. You want to differentiate yourself. You want to stand out. That's what it's all about for all of us. You don't want to just be part of the herd. You don't want your community to have the same exact message as everybody else's, because why go to your community if they can go to 20 other communities and get the same thing? So absolutely, your passion and what your drive is and your ambition is exactly what you have to express in your community, so that you attract the people and more, but they attract the people that really will understand what it is that you're trying to do, and they're going to come to you. They're going to raise their hand, and that's where it starts. And one thing, because this conversation is going in a great direction, and I want to just, when I was reviewing the replay from last week's Hangout, I noticed when I was showing you how to do certain search functions, and Deb mentioned it before, so I want to just take it one step further. I noticed that, I don't know if you guys actually saw my screen, so I went through the replay, it was just a little thumbnail on the bottom of the screen. So I don't know if you saw it. It's very important, so I want to just go back and revisit this for 5 minutes. So I'm going to share my screen real fast. Let's see, okay. Now, can you guys let me know if you can see my Facebook page?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Actually, I think I asked you prematurely. Let's see. Wait a second. I'm going to stop the share for a second. It didn't share the way I wanted it to, so we're going to try that again. Still not doing what I wanted it to, so give me a second, guys. I don't know if this is working. I hope it is. What are you seeing now on my screen?
Health and wellness. I see you moving your mouse around. So.
That's excellent. That's great. But you're seeing the full screen, hopefully?
Yes. Yes.
It's not just a little thumbnail. It's the full screen.
It's the full screen.
Okay. Thank goodness. 'Cause for some reason it didn't work last week. All right. So one of the things I want to show you, and Deb, I'm going to use you as an example this week, but in a very good way. Now, it seems as though, a very popular niche, and including with you guys also, a lot of you have that health and wellness, passion also, and are in health and wellness business. So one of the things that you want to do in order to find your target market is you want to find groups that you can find people that are going to resonate with that message. So one of the things that you're going to do, or that you can do in a basic search, let me just get back to the page that I wanted to. All right, so you're going to do basically a basic search for health and wellness. And then over here, you're going to want to see more. And now this is what you want. You want to see these tabs over here so you have groups. So now you're searching for health and wellness. Now, are you guys seeing this right now on a full screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So now you're going to go to groups. And what this is going to do, it's going to open up a million different groups. I mean, you can just scroll down and down and down, and you can find all kinds of groups on Facebook, public groups, closed groups, whatever they may be. You can still apply to join, and you'll see how many members are over there. You're going to see what the mission is, different things that people decide to disclose, basically, for people to get a glimpse of what the group may be about. And then you can basically go over and you can visit any of these groups, and you can get an idea as to who the members are. You can join the group, and once you join the group, you can find out more about the individual members. Now, this group has 522 members. Doesn't have a tremendous amount of members, but that doesn't really matter. I personally think it's better than a group that's got 15,000 members, because most of those groups tend to be a little bit spammy. These groups, like our communities, are more value-driven, so you're going to tend to have less members, but better quality content and the type of people that you probably want to attract into your community, into your business. So, certainly you can join a group and, go through, review the groups, and depending upon your particular niche and depending upon your particular target market, I just happened to pick health and wellness today because of its popularity. So you can see a lot of these people are already my friends that happen to be in this particular group. Now you can connect with the admins. You may even know them. They may already be friends, because these are the people that run these groups. And if they're quality groups, these are the people that are really into that you want to connect with. So I would connect with, let's say, Robin Pelzer, for argument's sake. Then you're going to see a bunch of other members. Now, once you're in the group, one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure that it's not a spammy group. This group, was this one closed? Let's see. This one might be closed because I can't get to the main page. But what you can do, you can go to the main page of this particular group or any group, and you can see the types of posts that are being made. Let me see if I can find another group real fast that we can get a better idea. Let's see. Let's do a public group over here. So right over here on the main page, you can already see, and this one's got 3,600 members. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you can start scrolling down in a particular group, and you can see the types of posts that are being made. If they're really health and wellness driven, if they're really people just pitching their opportunities, or a mix of the two. And the other thing you want to look for people that are actually engaging in a very, very positive way. And then these are the people that you may want to go out and you want to maybe you want to try and engage with and become their friends on Facebook, and then invite them into your community. So you're looking for groups, and more than just looking for groups, you're looking for specific people that may match your target market that you want to connect with. So that's one of the important things that you can do. Now I'm just going to stop this screen share for a second and go to a different page. So stopping that share, and I'm going to do another quick share with, let's see, okay. Okay, guys, can you tell me what you're seeing on my screen now, just to make sure?
Bruce Bennett.
Excellent. Okay, and again, you're seeing the entire screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one of the other things that you can do, in addition to going out there and finding a group in your particular niche, and there are Facebook groups for everything. There's nothing you can possibly be doing. Yeah, go, Tamara.
That's just it. I don't know who to be with what my message. I don't know who to look for. I don't know what I should be looking for.
Well, you can actually
I don't
look
know
for
what keywords to use.
Crafts, arts and crafts.
Well, no, it's not just arts and crafts. That's my business. That's my thing. But I'm not worrying about bringing other people into arts and crafts. I'm just people in general who are MLMers who don't like their programs and need to find out there's another alternative way. You know?
Yeah, but what you want to do, Tamara, I mean, you basically, even though you personally don't believe in network marketing, you're not going to get back into another network marketing company, but you do have a resource and a tool and a product that you want to get into their hands to help them, then you definitely, in addition to finding people that are going to resonate with your specific message, you also want to attract network marketers, online marketers into your community, because you have a very specific message to share with them. And a lot of network marketers are not happy with their current network marketing opportunity or their current business, and they're looking for other options. You may not think so, but more so than you may realize, they're looking for other options. So you can go out and you can go and look for other network marketers. Could even be network marketers from your state, somebody that's local. Now here's one, and this is the point I was going to make now also. Now here's one I put in as a search term: people who live in West Virginia, and again, this is for Deb, people who live in West Virginia and like health and wellness. So now you'll know if it's somebody that's already a friend, because it's going to tell you, or it's going to say add as a friend. It's going to give you a little snapshot over here, so you're going to see that they actually do live in West Virginia. So if you want to target your local market, even though you're not doing, offline local marketing per se, and you're doing online marketing, it's important as something to have in common. If you can attract another marketer and have something in common and say, hey, we both live in West Virginia, or hey, we both live in New Jersey, that's a commonality that's going to make them more open to A, becoming your friend, and B, hearing what you have to say. So doing that kind of a search, or people who live in whatever state you're in who like network marketing. So you can do it in so many different ways. So now you're looking down here, you see these people live in West Virginia, and here this one likes health.com. This one, this seems health.com is pretty popular. Okay, this one likes something else, and water ionizers. But the bottom line is, these are people in your home state that have shown a preference for something that's health and wellness related. So you can basically, if you see something even in their little snapshot over here that resonates with you, and especially if it shows something over here that indicates that they might be an online marketer. Okay, postal clerk or U.S. Postal Service, chances are they're probably not. Over here, works at self-employed, probably is. So you could go into Nancy's profile, and you could go into her about page, and you could, when it loads, you can go into details, and this particular one doesn't have a lot of information, but it looks like, and certainly you can go to their timeline, and you can see what kind of content they're posting. But what you're going to find also as you go through these people, and again, you're looking for people in your target market. You're looking for people that you have something in common with. Now, let's see, I was looking at somebody earlier. Let's see who it was. And here's something else you can look at. You can look at mutual friends. So Shirley over here, you've got 34 mutual friends. So that's something else that you guys have in common that's a good conversation starter. We both have an interest in health and wellness. We both live in West Virginia. We have a lot of mutual friends, so I hope you accept my friend request. Just a lot of ways to really get the conversation started. And over here again, I'm just going to come back to the About page. And here you can see this is somebody that I like to call, and I've used the term before, an eager socializer. That they've got a lot of links over here. Doesn't mean they're a spammer, but they want people to be able to go in and see what they're all about. And you can see over here, get skinny and earn. So these are online marketers. Okay, the site can't be reached, so that's not a good sign. That's a good sign for you, but not a good sign for them, because you can tell them you went to click on their link and their link is not working. So you're doing them a favor. You're helping them out. You're giving them information that's going to help them that they may not even be aware of. But the bottom line is you can see this is an online marketer. Sometimes when you click on the link, you can even see what business they're currently in. So these are great ways to reach out and find people that you feel a connection with, that you want to send a friend request to. Because it's more than just, like Tamara, you said you have a number of friend requests that you received that you haven't processed. It's more than just receiving friend requests. You want to go out there and be proactive, and you want to send friend requests to people that you feel that you might have a connection with. And there are all kinds of different ways that you can search that we can explore more down the road, but we're already running later than I wanted to. So I'm going to probably start wrapping up the Hangout, and I'm coming back to you guys now. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys first of all, and again, this is something that we can explore more, next week or whenever, we have Hangouts. I was going to talk again, like always, and I love the direction that, the turn that we took with today's Hangout. I was going to talk a little bit more about avatars, and I think we covered a lot of that anyway in terms of your, finding your perfect customer or your perfect target market and those types of things, because it's very important for you to know exactly who your perfect customer is so that you can create that content that's going to attract them. Now, I wanted to give you guys, I don't want to call it a homework assignment, but I think it's really going to help you because it really, really helped me. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to post in our chat group, I created a PDF describing my perfect customer avatar. And basically what you're doing when you're doing that, you're drilling down and you're really figuring out, which is a good exercise for all of us, to know exactly who our target market is, and that's going to help us to create the right kind of content. So I'm going to post it to give you guys an idea as to what mine is and to help you to possibly create your own. So I'm going to post it in our regular chat group sometime today, and if you guys get a chance to, again, I don't want to call it homework, but I think it's a little bit of an assignment that maybe if you can get done by next week, whether we have the next Hangout on Saturday or Sunday, and we can read it aloud to each other so we can, make comments, critique it, learn from it, help to maybe redesign it a little bit so it fits more with what we really are going after in our target market. But it's important to really drill down, and you want to, and it doesn't mean, let's say for my target market is part-time network marketers, maybe males between a certain age range, because that's what I am. So I want somebody that's going to be attracted to my message, that's going to be somebody that's has a similar background and a similar set of circumstances that I may have myself, because those are the type of people that are going to resonate more with my message. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to attract females that are not traditional network marketers, that are maybe a lot younger than the target market I'm going after. And that's fine. You want all comers, because you never know who's going to want to join you in your business or MLSP. But the point is, the ones that are really going to connect with your message are the ones that you really want to work with. You're going to work with other people too, but these are the ones you want to reach. And this is, Tamara, what we were saying before, this is where you're going to really attract the type of people that have that God-given talent, that God-given passion, and want to do the types of things that you want to help show them the way to do. So you'll attract all kinds of other people, including network marketers, which is great because you want that too because of MLSP. But over and above that, you're going to attract specifically the types of people that you're really looking for. So I think this will be a great exercise. So I'm going to send you guys what it is that I created for my perfect avatar, and you guys can use that as a guide. And if during the course of the week or next weekend you get a chance, I would highly suggest that you try and do that same exercise. You'll see exactly how I designed it and how I drilled down and how I'm describing my perfect prospect, and I think it'll help you possibly to do the same thing. And then I'd be very interested in all of us to share that, so that we can all learn from it and benefit from it. And the only other thing I'm going to say is that, again, Dig is very, very close. And first of all, let's all give a shout out, even though she's not here. Hopefully Claudia's going to see the replay. So Claudia, congratulations on becoming an ambassador.
Congratulations, Claudia.
Congratulations, Claudia.
Congratulations, Claudia.
Way to go, Claudia.
Yeah. And Dig, you're definitely going to be the next one. So, just, to reiterate what we said earlier, let's get some good piece of whatever it is that you want to put out there, with some sort of some sort of content that's really purely engagement content. As silly as it may seem, just something that you're going to get the engagement. We'll all jump on board and comment, so you at least have 5. You need 10 to fulfill the qualification, the requirement for becoming an ambassador. So that's going to move you one step closer. That and just another 9 community members, which is going to happen within the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it takes. You're right there. You're knocking on the door. It's going to happen real soon. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to ask you guys if you have any questions, if you want to unmute yourself. And while you're doing that, I'm going to, like always, I'm just going to make a couple of, going to make some Hangout images that I'm going to send to you guys later that you can use. So, Deb, I already have one for you. But if you guys want to unmute yourself, I'm going to start and talk and tell me what value you found from today, what you learned from today, what your biggest takeaway is. While you're doing that, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make those images. So, Deb, if you want to go first, because you're going left to right on my screen. You're the one all the way on the side over there. You're number 1 on my screen, so you can go for it.
Yeah, I'm glad you reviewed the search on the Facebook and how to do that, because I wanted to start applying that. The reason I haven't started applying those things yet is, like I said, for my limited time. Sometimes I think it's more important to get my posts done first and then get into that. So I haven't had a chance to get into that much, but I'm planning on trying that today. My husband is not here. He's visiting my stepdaughter. He's visiting her today, so I won't be bothered. And and I also wanted to know the MLSP webinar that was this week. I waited for it for 15 minutes. Did it start late?
Something? I wasn't on live, so I really don't honestly know. But sometimes what happens, sometimes if you're on there, it doesn't look like anything's going on. If you turn on your chat, you can see comments being made. Sometimes you just have to sort of refresh your screen, and then all of a sudden it'll show up and it'll start. So I wasn't there live. I still have to watch it over the weekend. I have to try and watch the replay. But I'm happy you brought it up. So the only thing I would suggest trying in future is just refreshing your screen and seeing what happens. But as long as you brought that up, just another good point also, next Wednesday is going to be part 2 of the Ray Hagan webinar, and we all have an opportunity now, even if we personally don't go out and buy his course, which I have not done. I purchased his last one. I'm probably not going to purchase this one, but it shouldn't stop us from inviting people to the webinar. Invite as many guests as you can, because if they're on the webinar, they will be basically, I don't like to use the word pitch, but they will be promoting, his product launch. And if you invite people, it's going to be tagged to you. So if anybody decides, and it's a good deal. It's a great course. I mean, I've heard a lot of wonderful things about it. All of his courses are top-notch. And it also gives the people an opportunity to get a 30-day free trial in MLSP, which is something that's also very powerful, and people will definitely jump on board. Excuse me. So definitely go out, definitely, create your events. I know you all mentioned, and I saw, whether it's on Facebook and on Google+, either one or both, I saw all you guys basically took action, created an event for last week, which is great. Definitely do it again for this week, because the results could be great. You might have some really, really outstanding results.
Can we create an event from our personal page? Because I did it from my group page, and I know it goes to everyone in my group, but then trying to like scroll through and choose people from my friends, it takes a long time. So if I do it from my personal page, could I just like click all, and it will just like invite everybody?
You know, they've changed it over the years. It used to be a very simple little extension that you could put on, whether it was Firefox or whether it was on Chrome, where you could basically just at the click of a button, you can invite all of your friends, or maybe up to a certain amount of friends. Mm-hmm. So I was able to invite like 1,500, 2,000 friends, basically with the push of a button. Facebook watches for those things, and people use them for a period of time, and then they sort of squash it so that you can't. And then people will find workarounds, and they'll come up with other little apps and extensions that will allow you to do it. But, it's just a matter of time until Facebook finds out about it, and they sort of put the kibosh on it. So I don't know. Right now I know that I'm only able to invite a limited amount of people. I can only invite like maybe 250 to maybe anywhere between 250 and 350 people. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to take a long time, and they'll give you suggestions that you can scroll through, or just go and basically click for those 250 to 300 people, whatever it is. You're not going to have as many options, but you can definitely do it from your profile page, your fan page, so you can create an event off of any of those pages. And I usually do. I'll create an image, and I'll just create my own content and do that for the community and invite people to the webinar. But as far as the actual webinar event that you're creating, I usually do that through my fan page.
So I could do it with my personal page, and Facebook wouldn't get mad for me doing that.
Well, you should be fine. Okay. Yeah, go on, Glenn.
Well, what I do is I create the event on my fan page, and then I post it, like I once it's on my page, because I've done whatever, but it goes to my personal page, and then I invite people from my personal page, so I'm not creating two events. I'm not having to do double work. Mm-hmm. So that's how I do it, and then that way I can invite more people to the event.
Yeah, and that's a very good way to do it, because once you create the event, and like I did the same thing as Glenn. I created off of my fan page, but then once you do that and you share it from your event page, then it goes right to your profile page. So basically, which is what you're looking to do. I'm sorry, say that again.
Would that work? Will that work the same way with your community? Is just to share it onto your post, onto your wall? From the fan page, not the fan page, but your community?
I'm sure that it does. I haven't actually tried doing that from the community, but I would imagine it probably does. And what happens when you do create the event in your community, the other thing that happens is that it basically automatically sends out invites to all of your community members. So usually I'll get like 300 invites when I create something in my community, if I create an event through the community itself. So I'm not sure how the limitations work, so that if let's say you've got 1,000 people in your community and you create an event in your community, off of your community, the invites automatically go out. So that's a great thing. That makes it a lot easier. But I don't know if all 1,000 people are going to be invited or if there are limits. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm at about 270 some odd members. So I can invite all of them by just simply creating the event off of my community. But I haven't done that yet, because I don't want my community members to think that I'm pitching them by creating an event within the community. So like Glenna, I do it off of my fan page, and then I'll just make a separate post in the community. But when it has been an event that Gavin creates, or one of the communities, when maybe it's Nicole and a few of the other girls and Laura, and they're putting an event together, that then, because it's more closely connected possibly with the 6 steps and what we may be training on in our individual communities, then what I'll do, I'll create it within the community, and then the invites will go out automatically. So with Gavin's network marketing, networking superstars school, then I'll do that within the community. So there are different things that I do for, different reasons and different types of events.
Okay.
See, Glenna, what is your, briefly, what is your biggest takeaway from today? And then we're going to jump over to Tamara, and then we're going to end the Hangout today.
Yeah, I thought I muted again. My biggest takeaway, I'm not even sure. It's a lot of information. I mean, I thinking we could do a whole thing on the events and how to do a sequence, where we're saving some time, and distinguishing what we just went over a little bit. And then the searches, I keep forgetting about using searches. So to narrow and even further down. So I think that's it.
Yeah, and I'm happy you mentioned that, Glenna, because that's a good point. One of the other things that we can do is that we can just, we've had, this is our 6th Hangout now. So maybe what we should do, and we can do it right in our regular chat, maybe have for next week a specific topic instead of, going over and covering a lot of ground, because I know sometimes, if there's too much information, that's not necessarily good either. So maybe we can, narrow down, create a little poll, or narrow down, just tell me what area specifically we feel that we want to tackle and just talk about that. So if maybe we have 2 or 3 of us that, have a common theme and say, okay, this is what I want to focus on. I want to just talk about events this week or whatever else it might be. We can just focus on that. So that's a very good idea, and I think maybe that would be a good direction to go for next week.
It might be, because then it might be shorter. Like the Hangout might be shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So yeah, we'll think about, post during the course of the weekend or during the early part of next week. Post whatever it is specifically that you think you might want to have a hangout about, and then we'll figure out which one we want to choose for next week. So yeah, I like that idea. That works.
Okay. And
Tamara, you're on now.
My biggest takeaway is, the interaction that I had with you guys. I mean, normally, Deb, you gave me a lot of information and support and encouragement to move forward and give my message. And that's what I was looking for. Up until now, we've just been kind of like following the little steps that we need to do. But it's the interaction and your thoughts and helping me understand what I'm wanting to do. That was a big thing. And I like to continue that with this group, even off of our Hangouts. That, because up until now, you guys really never knew where I am. Mark did. Mark knew where I was coming from, but I never divulged to you guys where I want my group to go and what I want to do. And I just love the fact that you guys gave me feedback on it. So now I feel like we're really united, that we can help each other, and I've gotten your guys' thoughts, not just Mark's, but I also got Deb's and Glenna's, and and I'm sure Dig will jump into the conversation sooner or later, and talk about these type of things. So thank you for allowing me to express where I was going and get the help I needed and the encouragement to move forward with my message. So that was my biggest takeaway today.
That's awesome. I love that, and this is why I love not only this particular group, but this is why Mastermind Hangouts is so powerful. And this is one of the reasons why I said previously also, and with the exception of possibly next week, when we first started this Hangout, it was really supposed to be about the 6-step sponsoring sequence and really going through the modules and doing the teaching, doing the training. But that's not necessarily what is the most important, to all of us and where we really want to concentrate. So, I certainly was never married to that particular agenda. So I love the fact that, the things that are important to us we can discuss in any given Hangout. And like I said earlier, I love the dynamics of the conversation that you guys were having and all the feedback and the back and forth. And that's what these Mastermind Hangouts are meant to do. Because everybody has a unique background, everybody has different sets of experiences, and we each bring different things to the table. And when we can share those differences, and we can share the things that have worked for us or that haven't worked for us, and we can help one another, there's nothing better than that. And that's really what we experienced today. So I am really thrilled about the way that this hangout went, and I agree with what you said, Tamara, 150%. So guys, with that being said, unless there are any last minute thoughts or questions, I think we're going to wrap up today so we can all get on with our day. And so any questions, or we're going to, I'll bid you all adieu.
That's it.
I do.
I do.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for participating. It was a great hangout again. I'll be sending out the thing I told you about, the avatar, to the group. And, when you get a chance, just post about whether you're available next Sunday and what topics you'd like to discuss, and we'll limit it to a specific topic next week. Have a great day. We'll see you guys around town.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
See you later.
Enjoy. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.